Listen, lady, I've been driving this route for 15 years now. I brought them here to get their injections and I drove them back after they got it. He changes them. We out here, they sit back and enjoy the ride. They talk to me. We sometimes stop to watch the sunsets and the birds flying. We sometimes stop to watch the birds when there ain't no birds and the sunset when it's raining. We have a swell time and always get a big tip. But afterwards, they grab. They yell at me to watch the lights, watch the brakes, watch the intersections. They scream at me to hurry and they got no faith in me or my cab, and yet it's the same cab, same driver, same road. It's no fun, ain't no tips. What's happening to me, Max, isn't mensurate in psychiatric terms. This is not a psychotic episode. It is a cleansing moment of clarity. I am imbued, Max. I am imbued with some special spirit. And it is not a religious feeling at all. It is the shocking eruption of great electrical energy. I feel vivid and flashing, as if I suddenly had been plugged into some great electrical magnetic field. I feel connected to all the living things, to flowers, to birds, to all the animals of the world, and even to some great unseen living force. What I think the Indus call prana. Prana. So it is not a breakdown. I have never felt so orderly in my life. It is a shattering and beautiful sensation. It is the exalted flow of the space-time continuum. I feel on the verge of some great ultimate truth. So the way I see it, I have three choices. One, I shoot him the way he's dead, I go to prison and you're left with nobody, which let me tell you, right now doesn't seem like such a bad option. Two, I kick the crap out of him, which is probably not the best idea because I'm not too much of a fighter. And three, I leave you, call off the wedding, play the zero lover, and expose your indiscretions to the entire community. But all of it's no good. You see, because none of those options give me you. And in spite of everything, I love you. And if you want to work it out, forget that our wedding is in 3 weeks, forget what people will say, and they will talk, believe me, start already, but forget everything. This is about you and me. And if you want to work it out, let's go home. I meant what I said when I gave you that ring. Look, I know it's hard to forget your first love, but I love you, Ellie, and I want you for myself. I shouldn't have to convince my fiancée that she should be with me. Am I okay? 7 years ago, you walked out of my life without so much as a goodbye, and I never heard from you again. You want to know how I'm doing? I fought in the war, finished that, that's how I'm doing. My dad sold this house and we sunk every penny both of us ever had into buying this place and fixing it up, and we did. We built this place with our bare hands, me hoping that in some crazy way it would bring you back, but it didn't. And now that's that too. That's how I'm doing. And even now, after all this time, when I hear a car pull up the driveway, or a letter comes, or the phone rings, or somebody says my name, I get excited. Because I think that maybe, just maybe, he might be you, but he never is. And now, here you are. This ghost standing in front of me, asking if I am okay. Yes, Sally, I'm just fine. Thanks for stopping by. So it turns out Amanda and I weren't meant to be, which, you know, sucks. But at least, well, at least I finally know. And who knows, maybe nothing happens for a reason. Maybe that's all bullshit. But now I can just go off and meet somebody else, somebody who really is right for me. You know, and maybe this time I won't have to wait 4 years just to talk to her. On the other hand, maybe this was all some sort of hero's trial. You know, something to make me come out a better person, because in a way I think that I may really have learned something about myself. We're talking about intercourse, right? So, okay, there were a few moments where I could have done that, but none of them felt quite right. For instance, so, okay, junior year, I dated this girl, Sue Hornick, and she was kind of a prude. And one day I was reading some Shakespeare, and I realized I don't really love this person. It was one of the sonnets, you know, about authentic love, and I thought, this isn't it. I had to break up. And so I went straight to Sue's house, and I was literally about to tell her that. And then I remembered that was the night that she told me that she wanted to have sex. Can you believe me? That was the night. But we didn't, obviously, because she started to cry, and that's not attractive. There's a box of Twinkies down in the mini market. And not just any box of Twinkies. It's the last box of Twinkies that I or anyone will ever enjoy for all of time in the whole universe. Because there is an expiration date on Twinkies. The hostess factories are gone, so someday very soon life's little Twinkie god is going to be empty. Now, true. You probably won't survive the next 10 minutes, but if you do, you will be one of the last 2 guys to ever enjoy the spongy outside and creamy inside of delicious Twinkie. Worthy, right? Gentlemen, welcome to Fight Club. The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. The third rule of Fight Club is if someone yells stop, goes limp, taps out, the fight is over. Fourth rule, 2 guys to a fight. Fifth rule, 1 fight at a time, fellas. Sixth rule, no shirts, no shoes. Seventh rule, fights go as long as they have to. In the 8th and the final rule, if this is your first night in Fight Club, you gotta fight.